Basketball fans, welcome back. I know I've not been uploading consistently, but hey, I'm back and I'm back here. So I've taken a short hiatus, but anyway, we're back with more NBA content. And in this video, I'll be looking at Trae Young. So Trae Young's future with the Hawks is in doubt after the 2025 NBA trade deadline. So Trae Young is one of those players I enjoy watching, and he's one of those guys that when he came in 2018 together with Luka Doncic, I felt like those are the next gen guys who are supposed to take over the NBA and lead the next generational stars, especially in this Gen Z revolution. So in the aftermath of the 2025 NBA trade deadline, the Atlanta Hawks are working to maximize their roster after trading for several young players. But according to Chris Haynes,
I'm a pivot to Trae Young. That guy is a fierce competitor. He wants to win. I'm just saying he wants to win. So the direction of the Hawks is very, I would say, very unique, considering they know where he stands and what he wants to accomplish. I will say this. Before the San Antonio Spurs made the move for De'Aaron Fox, they were considering De'Aaron and they were considering Trae Young. But with the way that the Spurs are set up right now, they're not set up to start trying to win games and contend now. So there was never really a hurry to bring in an established point guard to move on to the next phase. But De'Aaron Fox kind of fell in their lap, and he picked them as his the sole team that he wanted to play with. So they chose him. It was a much easier lift and easier route to get De'Aaron. But Trae Young was on the San Antonio Spurs radar.
even Trae's future is up in the air after years of subpar play and a growing desire to play winning basketball. So the Hawks are in a very tough position because at some point they were in the Western, they not in the West, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know. I've been talking about the Western Conference too much. So at some point, Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks made it to the East Finals in 2021, and since then they've just been it's been downhill, and you've not been able to see Trae Young uh, put being set up to win, especially in the playoffs by the Atlanta Hawks. So Trae Young is a fierce competitor. So according to Chris Haynes, he came out and said this: Trae Young is a fierce competitor. He wants to win. The direction of the Hawks is very unique, considering they know where he stands and what he wants to accomplish. So Haynes also confirmed that the Hawks had a trade in place that would have sent Trae Young to the Spurs before it fell apart in the last minute. So before the San Antonio Spurs made a move on De'Aaron Fox, they were considering De'Aaron and Trae Young. So said Young. But with the way that the Spurs are set up right now, they are not set up to try and win games and contend now. So there was never really a hurry to bring in an established point guard into the space, but De'Aaron Fox kind of fell in the lap and he picked them as the team that he wanted to play with. But Trae Young was on the Spurs radar. So you can see uh, Trae Young, the possible trade packages that are being sent out by the Atlanta Hawks, but they didn't fall through. So the Hawks were busy at the deadline this year. In a series of moves, they landed DeAndre Hunter and Bogdan Bogdanovic in exchange for Karis LeVert, George Niang, Terrence Mann, Nation Bones Highland, and multiple picks. By all accounts, it appears that the Hawks are rebuilding towards the future, but acquiring young talent and stockpiling draft capital for the draft. So they're doing that. They're trying to, do a mega rebuild, similar to what OKC are doing. But the difference between them and OKC is OKC are actually good and they're number one seed and they have like so many picks. For Young, who turns 26 this September, he he's past the stage where he wants to lead a rebuild because looking at the success that he's been having throughout the years, especially in 2021, making the East Finals, that was huge. And also upsetting the number one seeded Sixers at the time with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons at the time. So with just one conference finals appearance in his career, Trae is itching for playoff success, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that he'll find it on the Hawks. But with 3 years and 136 million left in his contract, Young will have to be traded if he wants to leave Atlanta anytime soon. So he signed that massive extension. So any team that is going to be trading for Trae Young, they have to understand that they have to take on that money in their books. So this season, Trae Young averages 23 points, 3.2 rebounds, and and 12 assists per game on 41% shooting. So Young has been one of the best guards in the league, and he's been the only one keeping the Hawks relevant. But after years of being the man for the Hawks, Young really needs to move on and try his luck in a better situation, especially a winning organization. So with the Spurs and Lakers now out in the running, it leaves the market a complete mystery for Trae Young. So arguably his biggest connection now is with the Miami Heat. So after striking out on multiple high-profile targets, the Heat will be looking to make improvements. And Young is the kind of offensive point guard who can raise the ceiling for the Miami Heat. So we have to see if the Miami Heat are going to pull the trigger on this. So another potential team is New Orleans Pelicans. After trading Brandon Ingram, the Pels can use more firepower, and Trae is the perfect fit next to Zion Williamson with the shooting, ball handling, playmaking in the backcourt. So there are multiple options. You can see the Miami Heat are there, New Orleans Pelicans. With the trade season officially over, Young will be on the Hawks for at least the next few months, but all bets are off this summer when they'll be back on the trading market looking for good deals, especially in the offseason. So Young hasn't yet asked for a trade, but the demand could come soon if the Hawks don't start to show some improvement. So you can see Trae Young is, I can even say he's on his way out of the Hawks, because if the Hawks are trading away their best players and going in on a full on rebuild, Trae Young has made it clear that he doesn't want to be there, because even if he is receiving he has a 3 year, 136 million left in his deal. He doesn't want to be the head of a rebuild because he's been there. He knows what it takes to win the playoffs. And given like the trajectory of the Atlanta Hawks right now, things are not looking good if he stays there. So, it's crazy, man. But do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below. So, where do you want to see Trae Young next season? Because there's a high likelihood a huge blockbuster move is going to happen. And the Hawks right now, if Trae Young is not going into to be part of the rebuild, the Hawks will be looking towards getting a huge haul uh, from a guy like Trae Young. And one thing that I think people are forgetting is that Luka Doncic trade, because it has sent shockwaves to the league. So we have seen how Luka Doncic, how his worth in the trading market. So will the Atlanta Hawks let another team overpay or overcharge or price Trae Young out of the market? Because Trae Young is by no means somebody who is not he's not somebody who's a scrub and he's not good in basketball. He's very good at basketball, and they're going to look for a better deal to get in return for Trae Young. If they can look for a couple of first round picks, a couple of second rounders, some pick swaps, and like about two or three rotation players in the rotation role players, maybe they can get a good deal at that. But anyway, it is what it is. So, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing in content like this, of this nature. So stay tuned to that. I took a short, break, a 2 day break, but the normal programming has resumed with this upload. So expect more of these uploads to come. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.